will stand and always praise thy name. Praise thy name, praise thy name. To ever, yeah. Lend our hearts and hands to help increase thy fame. Ooh, Lord, the honor.
If you're serious, if you wanna make it last, if you're serious, then this is all I ask. Just believe in us. All we have to do is try. If you're serious.
This is Matt Fife, R&B guru of RnBhaven.com. With me today are the Men of Riff. The guys of Riff have been around since the late 80s, making their big debut appearing in the movie Lean on Me alongside Morgan Freeman. They went on to score success with 2 albums during the 90s and hit singles like My Heart Is Failing Me and If You're Serious. Today, Riff is celebrating a 20th anniversary reunion with all the original men back in action. Guys, it's great to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Before we get started, I thought it'd be good if all you guys could just introduce yourselves. I hear you calling each other nicknames, so what your nickname is, how you got it.
Alright, I'm first because I'm special. I'm Mike Slim Shot. How y'all doing out there? What's going on? I'm second in line, yo. This is Baby Wayne, Move Be the Man, a.k.a. Steve Capers Jr. This is Anthony Fuller, Chili Kill, a.k.a. Big Kill. And the reason I got the name is because I'm like smooth. I'm the laid back tip, you know. Need to go in when I need to go in. That's how I do it. That makes Riff right there.
Probably torching you guys, telling all of you to introduce yourselves without telling you an order or anything like that. So I thought we'd start from the beginning. I understand you guys first formed in high school going by the name of Playboys. What first gave you guys the idea to form a group, and why Playboys?
Well, basically, we were attending the school. This was kind of our freshman year. And one morning, I was basically called to the office to meet with Principal Joe Clark. I got there, and there were 2 young ladies in the office. Mr. Clark assumed that I was a playboy, which was just 2 ladies in there that was kind of digging me, and he thought that I was a playboy. We had a thing that we had to sing the school song, which was our alma mater. He required us to sing the song every morning. Everybody that went to the school had to know it. If not, they were going to get kicked out of school. So it was my turn. I guess I was up for that. At that day, it was his turn to pick on me. Unfortunately, I got out of singing it that day. Pretty much told me that I had to do the very next day, or I was going to be kicked out of the school. That same day, I went over by my cousin's house, which is Anthony and Dwayne, and we rendition of the school song together. Came back that next morning, and it was showtime after that. That's how we got our start. We pretty much sang it, and everybody after that followed. They started singing it the way we did it. Soon after that, my cousins Buzz, Smooth B. Capers, joined along with a guy, his name was Kenny, who was no longer with us right now. But that's how we got our start, and that's how we got our name. We were known as the Playboys for about 4 years, and then after that, we were giving the name Riff by our manager.
Your description of that scene with the principal sounds a lot like the scene in the movie Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman. Was that actually the inspiration for that scene?
Exactly. Mr. Clark liked the way we sang it. He made us sing it everywhere we went. He made us sing it every assembly program in his office, like maybe 2-3 times a week. He told us that he was going to have us written into the movie. So when the movie director, the producer, and the writer of the movie came, we auditioned it for them, blew them away, and that's how we got our start.
In the scene, you're actually with Morgan Freeman. What was it like being there with Morgan Freeman?
Oh, man. Morgan's such a great, powerful actor, you know. I mean, his name speaks for itself. That was an honor to stand there and work with him and do a scene with him, man. I mean, that's an unforgettable experience, man. It was great. I enjoyed it, and I hope public enjoyed it.
So did any of you guys get motivated after that and want to try and be a movie star, or did you just call it quits after that?
Well, after that, we ventured off. We did like 2-3 major tours. We did sign a major deal once the movie popped off, and we got established as Riff. We signed a major deal with SBK Records, EMI, and from there we did three albums with 2 top 10 hits. And as far as acting and stuff, individually, musically wise, you know, each one of us, you know, we branched off, started doing production on our own. It's hard to break into acting, you know, I mean, that's a very big business there. But besides that, each one of us has our own agenda on which direction that individually we want to take. Yep, and this is Mike. To sum up what he was saying, at that time, we were interested in what we were doing with Riff. We wasn't interested in doing the acting thing. That whole situation was a shock to us. We were living our dream. You understand what I'm saying? It was a lot of fun, and the lights, the cameras, and we were like, wow. By the time we got to that thing still, that was like our home. We wanted to continue to do that piece of it right there, so we focused on doing the music. Right now, like Wayne was saying, we all have our own individual production companies and stuff like that, and we probably get that chance to venture off and do some movies now, because, you know, we still got that movie look. You know what I mean? Hey, man, to add to what Mike and Dwayne was saying, the opportunity came. Don't think it didn't. All of us basically had a chance to audition for the movie Toy Soldier. I think Mike and Wayne had the chance to really play the part. What had happened was, because of the music career at that time, I mean, the record company and our production company felt that we shouldn't make that type of move, because it would have been a conflict of interest, you know, trying to do both rather than just focusing on our career.
Yeah, so jumping off your success with the movie, you know, how did you end up landing that major record deal?
Well, the people from the movie, the director, the producer, they formed a production company which was called Fair Shot. And by them having an opportunity to work with us guys, they said, here's a chance for us to go ahead and try to get a deal. And I mean, the opportunity of a lifetime came by going to only 2 record companies. The first record company we went to, they felt that our image was not what they wanted. But the second record company, which was SBK Records, we sung around the piano and basically got signed right on the spot. We didn't have to go to the studio, do no demo. We didn't have to do anything. Basically, it just came right to us. They told us, you know what, you guys, we want you to come back up here next week, because we got a couple other people that we'd like for you guys to sing in front of. The young lady who was head of A&R and the president of the label, that's who they wanted us to sing before. And we sung before those 2 guys, which was like the key people, which solidified our deal. And once we sung before them, we blew them away, where we didn't even have to do anything else, just sign on the dotted line.
So you mentioned also that at that point you were named the Playboys, but then you changed it to Riff. What caused the name change?
Oh, man, Mark, get him, Mark.
we were at a practice one time, and we were singing this song. I think it was Gladys Knight and the Pips, Giving Up Is Hard to Do. And at the end, we just got into a zone. Just Riff was like, well, you know what, you guys should change our name from Playboys to Riff. And we all just looked around, stopped for a minute, and it's like, that's good. We looked up the dictionary term, which is vibrato, movement of the vocal cords. And we was like, okay, that'll work. And that's how we got the name Riff.
I like the way you put that, Smoothie. Very well said, Smooth.
You guys had a lot of success for a while, but then you went silent and didn't release any more albums. What happened there? You know, what caused you guys to go silent?
Okay, we all will take some of this, because this was the changing moment of our lives, you know what I mean? Basically, we cut another album, okay? It was more geared to the urban side, and after we got done, the record company dropped a single, and they pretty much thought that that wasn't the direction that we should have been going in at the time. Our first album was a straight pop record. The second album was an R&B record. So at the time, the record company figured, let me give them a shot to do a record that they want to do. Since the first album, we were told what to do. You understand what I'm saying? The second album, they let us do whatever we wanted to do, and they wasn't 100% behind it. So we were offered to do another album, but at the time, we had already opened up for Vanilla Ice for like 6-7 months, and after that, we did the LL Cool J tour, the Mama Said Knock You Out tour. So we had an experience with both crowds. It was like the pop crowd, and it was the hip-hop R&B crowd. And to be honest with you, we was just coming off the LL Cool J tour. We enjoyed that tour because that was the tour we was coming off of. You know, had we been coming off the Vanilla Ice tour, we probably would have had a change of heart. You know what I mean? Because we was just young and we loved what we were doing, but we wanted to be different at that time, and we had differences of opinion, so it started to unravel. We just had difference of opinion, and we end up separating, to make a long story short. Also, not only that, the label was also going through transitions. Exactly. As far as employment-wise, they were bringing in different people, you know, and they were setting up different deals with, you know, other coal companies, and it was a lot of mess. So as far as our careers, we felt as though that we needed to take a different direction on that. Yeah, because of the new personnel, we felt like we were falling through the cracks, like they were getting new artists. Angelo had just signed there. They had different artists, and we felt like we were being slighted. We had just did an album that we thought was hot. The record company agreed that it was hot, but then after that first single didn't do nothing, and it's like, no. Y'all got to go back in and do another record. And at the time, we had just got into our writing, and we had wrote a few songs that felt good about it, and they just wasn't feeling it, and it just started to unravel right there. But we felt like we could get another deal broke away, and that wasn't the case. I think at the time, because we were young, like we really didn't look hard enough. We kind of looked for like a good 2 weeks, and it was like, it's over, fellas, it's over. You know, we really didn't put our feet forward and plan it and be like, yo, this is what we're going to do, this is it. So right now we have a second chance to do something, man, and I think we're going to do it.
So you mentioned recording that full album and then being dropped. What happened to that album? Has it just disappeared or fallen into the vault somewhere?
Well, like I said, they released a single and they released another single. So they kind of released 2 singles, and then after that, they felt like, look, this is not working. All right, we're going to put y'all back with a couple of pop producers. We're going to do some songs. They flew us out to Nashville. We worked with a producer by the name of Keith Thomas. Did a beautiful song called When You Walk Through the Storm. It was beautiful. Was still a little friction, and I'm going to slide it off to Baby Wayne because I like to see Baby Wayne did his in there. Well, from there, we did the record, okay, so the deal that we were supposed to move forward with, like Slim said, you know, everything crumbled from there. We did the single. We were supposed to put together the EP on that so that, you know, we were supposed to work on the deal. Remember that, fellas? Yeah. And we were supposed to put that into effect, but somehow with the politics of the business, you know, I guess they wasn't reaching numbers with the producer or whatever. I mean, with the whole mix-up, so that fell through. So we're trying to do it again. We back. You got Heart and Soul right now, so I'm going to just pass this off to Smooth B.
Well, the name of the second album was To Whom It May Concern, and like Slim was saying, we got into our writing and we felt good about the record. So, I mean, if you guys like it, you can go ahead and purchase the album To Whom It May Concern and judge for yourself.
Now, basically, I think it was a transaction that was taking place at that time in terms of music style. We got caught up because the first album was a pop album, the second album was an R&B album, and we kind of moved with the times. When Jodeci came out, Boys and Men came out, we was on an LL Cool J tour. It was like, wow, man, this is what we need to be. This is home for us. Not knowing that music was just about to turn again. It moved, but then it moved again as soon as Boys and Men came out and did their thing. So Jodeci set the tone one way, then Boys and Men came through and set the tone another way. So we was just caught up. But once again, like the guys were saying, we're ready now. I mean, we're older, we're wiser, and we basically know our choices versus just trying to roll with the time. Just give positive music to the fans and what they've been missing and yearning for so long, more so.
So after you guys went silent, Anthony, Dwayne, and Mike, you guys all joined Men Of Vizion, is that correct?
Yes.
So how did you guys end up getting involved with the guys at Men Of Vizion?
Chill, you got to break that down. Basically, during that time when we fell back for a minute, we tried to stay involved with our church organization and decided to form our own little gospel group. Everybody was doing their own little thing, so it was a particular night to where my gospel group and one of the guys from Men Of Vizion, Spanky, he had a performance as well that particular night. Now, his group at that time disbanded. You know, they broke up too as well. So he was looking for a couple of members. During that transition, me, Mike, and Dwayne, we was trying to work on one particular song for the Riff album. And what happened was, in the process of us performing that night, I asked Spanky, I need for you to come through and try to work a couple of tracks out for this new Riff project. And he was like, you know what? Cool, take my number down. You know, we'll talk on Monday. Not knowing that he was looking for 3 other members. So what happened was, you know, it got frustrating with the Riff and us trying to even do new songs and stop deals to the point where we said, let's just give up and take a break for a minute. So during that break, the offer that Spanky he came up like, listen, I have a deal over at Michael Jackson's label, which is MJJ Sony. He said, I got a situation over there, and we need 3 guys. He said, I'm not trying to break you guys up or anything. He said, but I see that you guys are not working. And I was like, well, let me bring it to the rest of the guys and see how they feel about it. And brought it to, some of the guys and told them we can just do this for a minute just to basically get ourselves back there to the state. But what happened was we took the meeting, met these guys over in the city, and we started negotiating, talking about business, and they fed us some things that was, unresistible. So we took the offer and we ran with it, and we ended up cutting one Men Of Vizion record. Things, was cool, sweet for a second, but it wasn't as sweet as it seemed. Could have been better, but like you said, it was something that we came in on. It was a blessing, so we took the ball, we ran with it. That worked out pretty good for us also. A lot of exposure on that end, and all of us is pretty much like family, so it was a blessing. I thank God for it.
So during that downtime, what did Steve end up doing? What you do?
Well, basically, I also joined a gospel group for a while, and then joined a covers tune band with my cousin called Solidified, and we just went out singing, doing at weddings, writing our own songs or producing our own songs and stuff like that. So, tried to stay in the business and keep the vocals